What's up, everyone? The veto competition has been played and it has been won. So the head of household is forced to show their cards. This can only go one way for the head of household, and it's bad. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Alright folks, question of the day I'll throw it to you. You can literally say anyone apart from Tiffany, of course. Who would you like to see be evicted this week? Of course, our nominees currently, before we talk about the veto, are Alyssa and Xavier. It can be anybody else because, of course, Tiffany could put somebody else up as the replacement nominee and might just be doing that. But who, folks, would you like to see leave the Big Brother house this week and become the next member of the jury? Alright folks, so a massive congratulations to Alyssa, who has won the power of veto. Of course she was on the block and she was the target this week, so she's flipped the script and she's won the veto for herself, so a massive congratulations. Now, of course, with her winning the veto, it's going to force Tiffany's hand as the HoH. She's either going to have to put up Claire, who is essentially her closest ally in the house, or if not one of her closest allies, or she's going to have to put up a member of the Cookout. Either way, it's not going to be an easy way out for Tiffany this week, and it'll be interesting to see how she navigates it. But just on top of this, we've actually got so much to talk about regarding the nominees and what the Cookout's plan is moving forwards, because things are starting to really intensify, and some of the choices the members of the Cookout are making are very questionable. Now, Xavier was talking to Alyssa before the veto competition, and he was telling her that he believes that Tiffany's HoH has been really selfish, and Kylan's HoH has been really selfish. I am, and I don't often say this, and try and flip it around on people, but I am disappointed in Xavier. Y'all see me try to be extremely positive and praise game, but Xavier, I think the double standards there are unacceptable, because he's saying that Kylan was selfish, he's saying that Tiffany is being selfish. Tiffany's about to send Claire out on her own HoH, and yes, to an extent Kylan's was, but why would Kylan take out Sarah Beth when he can take out one of the other plus ones? Because Sarah Beth's going to be more loyal to him. There's no way that if Xavier was head of household, he would put Alyssa up on the block. And I guess props to him for not becoming the HoH. But the fact that he feels it's okay to literally go out of his way and say, you know, the Cookout's got to stick together, it's really important that we do this, it's bigger than any one of us. And then all of a sudden when Alyssa's in peril, he says, let's put up Aza or Big D on the block and send them out the door instead of Alyssa. That is not fair, and I'm saying that straight up there because it's not fair, and you don't go on like that. It's unacceptable, and it's selfish, and it's double standards. Don't expect Tiffany to send Claire out the door. He was saying to her last night, he was going, he sort of said something like, it was like reverse psychology. He said something like, you know, you putting up Claire ensures that you don't lose 4 jury votes. How can you say that? He's basically saying to Claire, he's basically saying to Tiffany, if you don't put up Claire as the replacement nominee, you're going to lose 4 jury votes. Yet when Alyssa was the one in danger, Xavier's the one campaigning saying, let's put Big D and Aza up on the block. So much for being all for the Cookout. Now, the veto competition was the one that Dave Vaughn won last year, where it was the tiny sort of stacking the cans sort of thing, where it's a very delicate touch to win that one, and Alyssa came through, obviously, so I'll once again say a massive congratulations to her. Like I said, folks, on here I do praise game where game is due, and, you know, whilst I might not be actively rooting for Alyssa, massive congrats to her. It's not often we see this in Big Brother where there's somebody who is the prime target pulls out the veto win, so I think that's brilliant. So massive congratulations to Alyssa there. But of course this means that Claire is as good as dead this week. Her Big Brother game is almost gone. Tiffany is realising, okay, I could put up a member of the Cookout, but she obviously, see, this is where I split Xavier and Tiffany apart, because Tiffany is sat there, and we've seen how tight she is with Claire. Like, incredibly tight. Much more tight than Xavier is with Alyssa. Yet Tiffany is saying, do you know what? We've said we're going to set out to do this with the Cookout. We've said it's bigger than any of our games. You know, it's bigger than any of us. And Tiffany's following through with that. And I've got so much damn respect for that. She created the Cookout. She enforced the Cookout. And guess what? She's willing to lose her closest ally just to protect the Cookout. I respect that so much. Xavier, on the other hand, don't act like you care about the Cookout when you'd rather see Aza or Big D go home instead of Alyssa. You're either in the Cookout or you're out. Don't pretend that you care about the Cookout when you're saying that, you know, Tiffany's being selfish and Kylan's being selfish when you do exactly the same thing. Now, obviously, after Alyssa had won the veto, X was looking to find his safety, of course, or solidify that safety, even though we kind of know it's there. We saw Kylan make the fatal mistake last week of continuing to push people and campaigning when he knew Sarah Beth was going home and he just needed to lay low. So, of course, X is a lot smarter than that. We've seen he's more adept at that, so he obviously isn't pushing as hard. However, there was that moment I was discussing a little earlier with the whole reverse psychology apology thing where he said to Tiffany, and I don't think there was any need for it. I did see a couple of people online saying there was no need for him to say it like this. Like it was especially the way he's going on, basically lying down for Alyssa, and we need to save Alyssa. Let's send out Big D or Arza instead of Alyssa. Yet he's expecting Tiffany to send out Claire. He's saying, the only way, he said something along the lines of this anyway, the only way you can ensure you don't lose 4 jury votes is by putting Claire up. I just think the audacity of saying something like that. I mean, yeah, I get it, it's the game, but don't act like you care about the Cookout. I'm sorry, you can't. Don't act like you care about the Cookout so much when you expect Tiffany to take out her number one and Kyle and when you're not even willing to do it yourself. He would literally saying he would rather send out a member of the Cookout than that person. Don't pretend you care about the Cookout. And I know it sounds brutal me saying it like that, but that's what it is. I think this week has shown genuinely a lot in regards to who is actually caring about the Cookout and realising it's more than, saying the whole mission statement all this time, the Cookout is bigger than any one of us. I think really this week has shown who actually believes in that and who doesn't. And if you haven't realised yet, folks, in my eyes, and I think a lot of people's eyes, I've noticed, Xavier isn't as loyal to the Cookout as you think he would be. So, I don't know, I feel like that kind of speaks volumes. And to be honest, you all have seen me praise X this whole time. I was rooting for him hard. Yeah, he's been so good. He's been playing a solid social game. He's been, going by, he's been working the crowds when people have started to argue. Guess what? He calms them down. And X becomes the cool guy that everyone goes to. And then in a matter of days, he is, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people's opinions, judging from what I've seen on social media, etc., people have lost a lot of respect for X and the way he's playing the game. And for me, I have to say that's the case. I'm still going to be fair like I always am and go, this person did good there, this person did good there, this person did bad there. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I've praised X this whole damn time, but what he's doing this week, in my eyes, isn't really acceptable. If you are playing the game, play the game. But if you're going to make out as if you care about the Cookout, then actually show that you do. Now, of course, with Tiffany doing major damage this week by sending out Claire to the jury house, or very likely so anyway, this is going to be a tough week for her. I mean, imagine trusting someone for 2 months in that house for, thinking someone is your best friend and your best ally, for that to be the person of all the people that puts you up on the block and sends you out the door. Not only sends you out the door, backdoors you. It's nuts. I mean, imagine the crushing feeling that Claire is going to feel. It's the game. It's Big Brother. What can you say, folks? I was tweeting about this yesterday. I said, look, I said basically what I said there, and I said, yeah, it's Big Brother, and we've got to accept that. It's the game. But it still sucks. But, that's that. Like we say, folks, it's Big Brother, and that's what the game is. You've got to make these big decisions to get to the end, and if you're willing to cut people like that, then I guess it makes you more of a credible player. But Tiffany's obviously trying to position herself in a better position moving into the next, I would say, rotation, because it's not the next week. Because, of course, folks, we have the double eviction, which is going to be very exciting on Thursday night. Now, of course, it's going to be rapid. And if Alyssa throws that monkey wrench in the works by winning HoH or the Veto, guess what? The Cookout is going to start to blow. Or not even start to blow. It will blow. It will crack right in half. And it's going to be interesting to see who will be the first to take the blow. That sounds weird. I'm going to stop talking about blow now. But, of course, Tiffany said, listen, X, because I've been the person to take out my own +1 this week, being Claire, I need to make sure that I'm in a better position next week. So can we make sure that if Alyssa does go up on the block, I'm not sat next to her? And then X said something like, we'll take that into consideration. So we'll see where that one goes and see if X is actually going to try and stick up for Tiffany in that aspect, or if anybody in the Cookout's going to stick up for Tiffany, because I think after this week, I mean, in my opinion, it makes more logical sense for Tiffany to put someone in the Cookout up. And yes, I'm talking about this whole loyalty thing, but and people might go, oh, Tom, you expect X to be loyal to the Cookout, but you don't expect Tiffany to be it. Flip it on its head, folks. That's not the case. The case is the fact that if some people aren't being loyal to the Cookout, why should Tiffany do it? Why should Tiffany be the person holding up the fort when the other people aren't trying? Half the alliance, Big D isn't going to be there for Tiff. I don't know if Carlin's going to fight that hard for Tiff. And X is certainly showing his colours this week. So why should Tiff be fighting for the Cookout when other people aren't doing it as well? I think it makes most logical game sense to go, now, okay, a member of the Cookout's going to win the game. We've achieved our mission statement, because, I mean, it's almost certain a member of the Cookout will win the game, which is obviously great for what they were trying to set out to do. But Tiffany needs to realise, to get myself further in the game, I need to keep Claire around and probably put up Big D, because then Big D or X will leave the house. And that's 2 people who've shown they are not loyal to Tiffany, whereas Claire is someone who will fight to get Tiffany to the final too. I know, again, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, maybe a few people will probably go, Tom, you're only saying this because you're rooting for Claire. I've got nothing to say there apart from it's the logical game move. I truly do believe that deep down. And of course, I'd love to hear everybody else's opinions. I'd love to hear what y'all think on that situation. But in my eyes, it doesn't make sense for Tiffany to try and send Claire out the door this week. Because either way, it's a lose-lose for Tiffany, but she's going to be in a better position moving into next week if she has somebody who's fighting for her to win or to get to the end, rather than people who really don't have her back. In this situation, she can remove one of those people who doesn't have her back, and then, you know, she's got less people trying to gun for her. I guess it's a moment of thought, and you can look at it from both angles, but it really is a crucial moment for Tiffany. But I do still respect her decision at the fact she is going to stay loyal to the Cookout. But what I do find frustrating is the fact that she has hustled so hard for the Cookout, and I've got so much damn respect for that. And she made this big group called the Cookout, you know, to change the history of Big Brother, and that's mega, that's huge, and I'm so happy she did that. But what's disappointing is when she's thrown a game away for the people in the Cookout who don't even, you know, who aren't even sticking to the Cookout and aren't even being loyal to her. That's another thing I tweeted about yesterday. I said, look, as a fan of the game, it's hard to watch Tiffany throwing away her game for a group where the most of them don't even have her back. It's disappointing. It really is. But I really hope Tiffany can pull this round and get herself out of this hole. But at the end of the day, she became the HOH this week, so she has to face the consequences. And that, folks, is the game of Big Brother and all the complexities that go with it. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below of this week so far. Are you thinking that Tiffany has been a good HOH? Are you happy that Alyssa won the veto? Do you think X is playing for himself, or do you think he's playing for the Cookout? And do you think that's good for his game or bad for his game? Let me know, folks, all your thoughts on this week in the comment section below. And do you think Claire can come back from this, or do you think she is a goner come this week and joining the jury, folks? There's so much to talk about, so let me know in the comment section below, as I said. But folks, I'll say as I always do, make sure that you're staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there, and be kind to one another, okay? But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.